Hello everyone. Nowadays you must have heard that with the change in the policies by the US President Mr. Trump, many people are facing the immigration issues, especially people flying from India and other countries. They are getting their H1s rejected. Yet there are a lot of opportunities if you really see. From investment perspective, if you see, there are companies locally located here in the US who are supporting investors from overseas. One of these companies is CanAm Enterprises, which is a New York-based company, and we have the CEO from the company, Mr. Decicco, all the way from New York to Silicon Valley, California for the beautiful Inflect 2018 conference. Welcome to Yo India TV with me, Jasleen Khanuja. First of all, I would like to ask you about your experience at this conference.
Well, thanks for having me. This conference is amazing. We attended one in Mumbai, and what's great about it is the energy with everyone here. Everyone wants to speak to you, they're approachable, people are trying to make deals constantly. There's a great vibe, great energy here.
That's nice. And how did you hear about this?
So we have an office in Mumbai, and so one of our employees who works there told us about the Thai organization. We looked into it and we thought this is a place for us to be. We want to be involved.
Nice. And tell us a little background about the company. When was it incorporated and with what mission?
Sure. So we started back in 30 years ago now. First with the Canadian immigration program. Our owner, Tom Rosenfeld, was one of the first people to go to China and start to work immigration for the Canadian program. In 2002, the US EB-5 program took off, and Tom switched over CanAm, our mission, to facilitate the EB-5 program in the US. So those last 15, 16 years, we've been focused only on US investments.
That's nice. In USA, what are the major places where people should invest in and why?
So for immigration, there's some particular things you need to pay attention to. We found that most of the successful projects have been at sort of the gateway cities. So we've had a lot of projects in California, New York, even Philadelphia, Miami, the larger cities, because we find people from India, China, etc., their familiarity with those cities.
That's nice. And when you deal with the EB-5, what are the main criteria? When you select a company or an investor and you support them, then number one, what are the qualities they should have? I mean, on your checklist, they should have like the right product, the right size, the right behavior. What are you looking at? That's one. And two, what they need to pay to be with you.
Sure. So there's two different sides. There's the project side where we choose which type of project we're going to invest with. And then there's the actual investor. On the project side, we look for really high quality borrowers. We've worked with top companies, Sony, Time Warner, etc. And then, so we look to construct a really stable deal. Nothing is without risk, but make it as riskless as possible for our investors. Then we go out and we seek the investors that want to come to the US. The investment through the Regional Center program in EB-5 is $500,000. So the investor has to be able to prove a source of funds of white money that can be traced into the US to invest $500,000. Then that money is then used to create jobs. The job creation happens through the project that we decide to fund.
So with the recent changes in the visa policy, we see that when you create jobs and you try to bring in people from different parts of Asia, the visas may not go through for different reasons. What's your take on this?
Yeah, there's been a big crackdown on not just the number of visas and the waiting period for H-1B visas, but also the approvals. They're cracking down, scrutinizing the applications more. It's become troubling. So we've seen, because of that, we've seen interest in the EB-5 program go up, double basically every year the last 4 years. India was not a very big market for us in EB-5. Just in 2014, I believe we had 5 investors only from India. This year we'll have well over 200. So it's been a dramatic increase in a short amount of time.
So to the viewers of Yo India TV who are globally located, what is your message?
My message is, well, first of all, the US is still strong. It's still a great place to be. Even if our immigration laws changed, we still want immigration in the US. And if you feel like there's no way to get here, you're worried about H-1Bs, etc., that the timeline is 10, 15 years, there is another way to do it. Take a look at EB-5, take a look at the program if you have the means, but do your homework. Due diligence is really important. Hire professionals, hire chartered accountants to look at your finances, to see how they would change when you come to the U.S., and hire professionals to analyze the project, and hire professional, really good immigration attorneys.
That's wonderful. And what are the main domains that you're looking at?
In terms of which types of projects, or
yeah, who should be the investor? What should be the investor domain?
Which types of investors? Well, we find that a lot of the investors are parents whose children already go to school in the U.S. and they're worried about their children not being able to now get employed. That they spent $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for college, and now their son or daughter graduates and they can't get a job because they can't get sponsored. So they're looking at EB-5 as a means to allow their children to work wherever they want in the U.S. If an EB-5 project goes well, they can get their money back. It's not like they're paying the $500,000 and it doesn't come back. So if you choose the right project, it's a further investment in your child. And then a lot of people we'll see are here in the U.S. on H-1B visas already, and they may even have families established, and they're faced with possibly having to leave soon. So EB-5 is an alternative for them.
That's wonderful, and it was great to learn about EB-5, and I hope you acquired sufficient knowledge as well. How do they contact you if they need to?
Sure, you can just look us up on the internet at CanAmEnterprises.com, and there's questionnaires, forms you can fill out and get in touch with us.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.